Well, hello there, YouTube, and welcome to Sunday, the 10th of October. Good Lord, this has been a day of downpours. So, last night when I sat down to edit yesterday's video, looking at this iPhone 13 Pro Max footage, pay attention to the clouds. That is super, it's almost hard to look at them with your bare eyes, the super bright clouds, the white ones up there. And then look in the dark areas. I called Kyle, holy crap, Kelly, come in here. The dynamic range of this phone is so much broader than it was on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. I couldn't believe that those recordings I was doing yesterday came out of this phone. That is nuts. We'll see when the light gets dark how well it can handle darkness. It is a phone sensor. It's not a full-fledged video camera, but I use it most of the time. But if you look at that right there, the dynamic range net between the darks and the highs, the highlights aren't clipped and there's still detail in the dark areas. Super impressed. Another thing I noticed, if I go walking around the garage and turn the camera on, I don't have to manually lock the white balance. It's auto doing it. I don't know what they've done different, but that's very nice to just turn the camera on wherever and not have to worry about white balance correcting. So super impressed. And the way you can zoom and get it, and it just taps into the next lens. I'm not using the stock camera. The stock camera does all this stuff, but the app that I use, because I can shoot at a much higher bit rate, I mean, I can zoom now without immediately going into digital zoom and making it all weird. But you do get the classic little bump when it switches from the standard lens to zoom. I'm starting to feel sprinkle again. Got to come out here and do my weekend checks that I do every week for oil, coolant, and that kind of stuff on this thing. I do need to get a radiator for it because it has an ever so slow weep in it. And here we go. There's the rain. I can't believe how, you see that when I'm transitioning back, you see that jump. That's just where it's switching from the zoom lens to the standard wide. But it's only like $147 for a radiator for this thing. It's got a slow weep. It uses, I don't know, maybe half a pint per week. That doesn't really bother me. I mean, it's not like it's leaking on the ground and the dogs are going to lick it up or anything weird like that. There is a wetness underneath there, and like when it rains, the water's in the radiator, and when we park it, I have to wipe it up because it drips down with the water, and I'm afraid the dogs will drink it or something. But they don't seem to mess with it anymore. And somebody told me that, well, glycol is glycol, and glycol is poisonous, but they said that coolant, antifreeze, the modern stuff doesn't hurt dogs and cats and stuff, because to them it was a very sweet taste and they were attracted to it. But at any rate, when we stop somewhere, like you're at a drive-through or you're sitting at a light, you can smell the coolant because it's a very slow weep. But you know how coolant is, you just smell it. It's very distinct. That drives me nuts. Plus, you shouldn't ever have to add coolant to your reservoir bottle. And you can see this very slight damp. I see where it's at. Somebody bumped into something with it. And you know how the caps on the end caps are plastic now on all radiators? They're not, the whole thing's not aluminum anymore. It's kind of crimped on caps. Well, on this lower left-hand side, somebody hit something in the little aluminum tab that sits on a post, got bent up, and it pulled back on that tank, and it's slowly weeping on that lower left side of that plastic reservoir on the tank. The tank on the radiator. Get all my terms right. See how it handles that bright a light. I mean, if you them clouds would just be washed out. If I took my GoPro out here and I pointed that at them clouds, it would just be overly clipped highlights right there. And look, that's pulling those grape leaves and those clouds all in the same shot. I'm telling you, there's no way a phone works this well. Since we're standing out here, let's go ahead and do the daily ritual of seeing what it looks like over the backfield. It's rained so hard that it's cut our satellite TV out. But I can use this thing like a spy scope. I can go, what are the neighbors doing over there? I need to be careful because those guys are out there goofing around sometimes. I don't want to. What does it do when I point it at the sun? Look at that. There's no way I can look at that with the naked eye. What's that Abby and Danny doing out there? Oh, he's roaming around. Crazy dogs. See what someone has done. Let me turn a light on here. Okay, that still works the same. Okay. You can see with this little metal tab, you can see the weeping on it. See the wetness running along that plastic tank at the bottom? But I was thinking the stud was coming up to it. Look, there's even a drop of coolant on it. Look at that. So this thing is bent back. It looks like they probably hit it with the plastic bumper up here and bent that thing back. Well, it is peeling the metal away from the plastic tank. That's why it's weeping. So you would think when you see the drips like this, that this thing would just be pouring coolant and I'd have to put a half gallon in it every day. But it's a shocking low amount of coolant. But I do notice, like when I open the cavity when you're riding the rain, it's like misting that coolant back, and the whole motor and everything, top of the motor has that wet look to it. Even though it's only leaking down here at the bottom, it's perfectly dry at the top. That's the ultra wide. The ultra wide, as you can see, does not have the same dynamic range, does it? Not even close. Okay, all I did was switch from ultra wide to the standard lens. That's clipped, but that's a whole lot of dark in here to try to compensate that one bit of light. But watch as I get out here. Yeah, the camera just there's all your details. There's your highlight details. That's pretty cool. I am so impressed with this phone. That's actually quite dark, but you can see it's where it's washing up somehow, and like that staining you see there. If you smell it, it's coolant. But she usually stays really good. I haven't checked it in a week, so she's definitely on the low side. We'll see how low she is. It's hard to see the high-low mark. It's really easy to see it. See the little darkened notch in there? That's the high mark. But if you look how small that tube is down there, I can't get focus on that. But it shanks, the bottle's kind of fat at the top, and it shanks in a square and goes down to another tank below. So I just go in, where are we at? Okay, so you can see down there we are below the minimum mark. I was telling Kelly, I was just telling the people in the vlog that I check this every week. I don't think I can check this in a couple weeks, but that's not far to be down that low, especially when you see the drips underneath there. If we push it really hard, headwinds, and keep staying with the close to 80 mile an hour traffic, I notice it leaks a little bit more. But the temperature gauge stays in this one spot and never goes above it, so it never overheats or anything. You just gotta keep an eye on it. So you guys recognize this from years ago, doing the valve adjustments on that 06 Element? That's literally the exact same motor. Even the little garnish, little cover on there was all the same. It's weird, same motor. That old gal is tough as nails. But yeah, I'll check the oil too. I don't think I have any more oil to put in it. It's a 5W20, and I use a Mobile One extended life, the 75,000 plus mile stuff. I don't think I have any more of it. And you can't mix the grades. Never, ever, ever mix the grades on any modern car. Not the '02 CRV is modern, but this does have that hydraulically actuated variable valve timing. You do not want to mess with the oil on these things. Always, always, always. Same with your motorcycle. The only ones you can mess around with stuff like that is older bikes. Anything modern, definitely don't do anything like that. Put in what it says. Yeah, see where the oil's at. Might have to hit. Well, I think I'm about due for oil change on this thing anyway, and I want to go pure synthetic. Actually, I know I'm due for an oil change. I usually do it longer than this, but I don't know what's in there. I know it's got a cord of a 5W20 Mobile One full synthetic. All right, let me top everything off here. Yeah, it's about crazy dark looking out here now. But that's what I get for coming out here. I forgot my funnel, so I thought, well, I'll just do it by hand. Well, I went over. The max mark is right in there. I went over a little bit. But I don't think, it doesn't ever run hot, so I don't have to worry about it, you know, filling the reservoir bottle and hitting the reservoir overflow. I just used on this thing that Napa coolant. Works good. Aren't all of these things on cars now pre-mixed? Here comes the wind, and here comes the next bout, and here comes the rain. I just took the girls out. Need to go save them, or Sasha's gonna be welded against the wall, which is not gonna do her any good because the wind is blowing it that way. So let me go save little Miss Princess Sasha out there. She'll be all freaked out. Poor Sasha. She couldn't escape because it was going, as you can see, it's going sideways, and it was sleeting. So she was trying to crawl underneath that wash sink thing underneath there. Man, I've never seen a dog that doesn't like rain as much as her. Goofy mutt. So whenever I shoot here in the shop, I have to lock the white balance. And what seems to work is 3,700 degrees Kelvin. All right, so we're probably, I don't know, with this light, kind of a little bit shady, somewhere around 6,500, 7,000 maybe. Watch this. This is what no camera does. Virtually none. Instantly auto white balances. I was showing Kelly. I go, watch. It just auto adjusts. Man, if this does this at work too, that'll be a real challenge, because we have two different type bulbs in the ceiling, or they're two different colors, and then you got that outside. That's pretty cool. I can just walk in here and open the phone and hit record. I don't have to worry about, oh, wait a minute, the white balance is wrong. And then forget to set it back to auto white balance when you go back outside. I always leave it auto outside. Just a changing light. And it just seems to do it better than locking it. You know, sunlight is 5,500 degrees Kelvin. Well, that doesn't always work good. Especially if you lock your GoPro, every shade you go into just turns blue. Boy, does she love that freewheeler, man. Absolutely head over heels. I've never seen her go. Last time she was this crazy about a motorcycle was over that goofy scooter. And she really liked her 250 Rebel as well. And anyway, she's crazy about this thing. Boy, does she love it. And I don't mind looking at her riding on it. I don't think I'll have any solo rides here for a while. All right. Well, hello there, YouTube. We thought we'd come out here a little early and do the goodbye vlog. As soon as we come walking down the steps, the rain starts pouring.
I know it.
So we sat here. It was perfect. The sun was kind of behind this little whisk of a cloud, and it was just this nice soft box looking light. Then the rain starts pouring.
And so then we have to wait for the rain to stop.
Yeah, the rain
and then
stopped.
the cloud moved.
cloud moving that sun, and she's pretty much beaming right on us.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. Tell you what, any sort of a drought or anything we had, she ain't here no more.
Nope.
I can tell you what.
There's puddles everywhere.
Yeah, it's amazing. It rains so hard that the clouds block the satellite.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the TVs get all
Janky,
pixelated and
yeah.
just freeze for a bit. But they do have this new feature where you can go into a low definition mode and it'll still play. But I think we talked about that once before, but it looks like a thumbnail size picture on your screen.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty bad, but you can, if you're into something, it'll work. Didn't get to that point today, but I've seen a couple of times where the satellite was froze up. It's crazy that it can block the skies.
I know, craziness.
Yeah. Remember the snow? We used to get a lot of snow. You always had to come out here and
wipe off the dish.
Yeah. Remember the one at Silver Lake had an old CB base station antenna. Had to screw all the pieces together and duct tape a broom to the end of it. It was so high. I don't know who in the world decided to put that satellite way up there to where they did.
Yeah.
Out there in the snow, and that old CB antenna swinging around, trying not to knock the dish off while we're trying to sweep the dish off, you know.
Craziness.
Crazy times. Kids, they were young back then. Good daddy, you know, thumbs up through the window, and I'm out there just pounding snow, just a foot and a half deep and wading through there.
I know.
It was a good time. So when you look back, we don't have them kind of snows anymore. The old planet, she's a changing on us.
She is.
But anyway, kind of talk about a phone vlog all day today, and tinkered with the old CRX, the old roller wagon a little bit. So she's ready to go. I do need to get some more oil. I was only able to get it halfway between the high and low marks.
Oh, yeah.
I just need to get a whole oil change. And Walmart's doesn't sell the Wicks filters that I like to use. So I gotta hit O'Reilly's. We need to hit O'Reilly's for a radiator anyway. So we'll kind of stock up on oil filters and put a Radiator in it.
Yeah, she needs one.
Yeah, she's got a weep. But anyway, on that, I think we're gonna bounce.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give her a thumbs up. And you guys have an amazing Monday or Tuesday.
Heck yeah. Far cry from that really nice ride we did yesterday.
I know it. That
Although,
was lots of fun.
In between the rain, the weather's nicer here today.
Yeah.
Just everything's soaking wet.
Yep.
But anyway, back to the old grind tomorrow.
Yep.
We'll see you bright and early in the morning.
We will see you then.
Thanks for watching now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.